Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. If I told you that my guest this week is a fellow Indian, a great Indian, who's fought terrorism for longer than almost anybody has and has taken 2 bullets from an AK-47 in his body and has survived one more terrorist attempt on his life along with his wife, you will have no problem guessing it's Julio Ribeiro.
Hi.
Mr. Ribeiro, welcome to Walk the Talk.
Thank you, Shekhar.
Wonderful to chat with you after a very long time.
Yeah, I think perhaps in Bucharest, you had come to Bucharest.
In Bucharest, in fact, we met in Bucharest over 2 years.
Yes,
The first year when the fighting was going on and I was robbed and lost my passport
yes,
and you gave me a fresh passport
right.
and we discovered that in Ceausescu's Bucharest there were no photographers. There were still tanks and blood on the street. But next year, in more difficult circumstances, because you had just had that infamous attack,
Yeah.
Punjab terrorists had taken advantage of the confusion in Romania and fired at you and your wife.
But I can't forget the fact that you were the only Indian journalist from India who came all the way to Bucharest and saw me in the hospital.
Well,
Yeah.
it was the smallest thing that an Indian journalist could do, because we saw you in Punjab at that point. But sir, you fought terrorists. It's very strange now that the same people who are now hailing you as a great voice for Indian liberalism, they used to then call you this tyrant, bullet for bullet tyrant, who was bumping off terrorists.
Well, I don't know whether I bumped off any terrorists. As far as I know, I never bumped off anyone. But we had to do a job,
Right.
and the job was given to me. A lot of people asked me why I accepted it,
Right.
because nobody could have forced me to go
Right.
there.
Right.
Because I was allotted to the state of Maharashtra,
Right. Absolutely.
and I could, and only the center has a lien on me, but not any other state. So it had to be with my consent.
But you had enough name and fame in Maharashtra already. You did not have to go to Punjab to get more fame.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I policed my own city, the city where I was born,
Right.
and where my ancestors up to 4th generation. I'm the 4th generation of
Yes.
the family born in Bombay.
Yes.
My great-grandfather came from Goa to settle here.
Right. So, sir, when you took the job in Punjab,
Yeah.
and then you finished it, now it's been more than 3 decades since you finished it.
Yes.
About that much.
Yeah.
Do you have regrets over what you did or how it was done?
Not really, though I did feel at the start that a whole community was suspicious about me and felt that I had come to kill them or to beat them. I don't know what they felt I was trying to do, but I had no such intention, because the people from that community who were indulging in terrorism, well, even they should have been fighting that. They did
Right.
it at the end.
Right.
At the
right.
end, towards the end, they did it.
Punjab police fought in the end.
Punjab police fought ever since I landed
Right.
there. They had no problem about fighting. But I'm talking about the general
Right.
Sikh population.
Right.
Because they don't understand the nature of terrorism. And when they really understood it, they themselves
They-
turned against the
They
terrorism.
fought back. But
Yeah.
sir, the line you used, bullet for bullet,
Yeah.
that defined that fight. Do you now have any regrets having used that line, or you think that is the way terrorism should be
You know,
fought?
I've been saying it from the very first day that I did not say those words, but it were put later on. They were used. If you read Mr. Pradhan's book, who
Right,
was the Union
right.
Home Secretary,
Right, R.D. Pradhan.
R.D. Pradhan, he said that the person who actually invented that was Mr. Arun Nehru. And I didn't know exactly till I read his book that it
Right.
was he.
But it has got attached to your
Yeah.
name. Sir, we saw the rise, or at least we saw the evidence of a new kind of terrorism, which is called saffron terror, Hindu terror. There were some incidents. There was no large-scale phenomenon. Some incidents. How serious was that, and how important was the fact that somebody caught these people in
Look.
Samjhauta Express, Malegaon?
Look, I don't like those words, saffron terror,
Right.
especially
I
now.
know, yes,
And
yes.
even when it was used, I didn't bother. I mean,
yes,
it was whether it was called, it was certainly that the Hindutva forces were not involved in terrorism at all.
Right.
And neither are the Muslims generally.
Right,
I mean, I know
right.
most of them, they're not at all worried. They want to see whether they can get their next meal from.
Right.
But
Or the next job from.
next
Good job from.
yeah. Mostly Muslims are
Poorer.
self-employed. Self-employed. So I think that this Saffron terror may have hurt the word
Some
may
people,
have-
yes.
But it was a reaction to jihadi terrorism.
I never use it also, sir. Let me just,
It was basically
in
a
my
reaction.
writings, I've never used
It would never have happened.
it. Right.
And I don't think it's a very serious matter.
Right.
It's just one-off kind of thing. And once they were caught, I don't think it ever happened again.
It just stopped. It was
Yeah.
just an isolated group.
Yeah,
So you are saying it would not have happened but for the provocation of jihadi terror.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
does it justify it?
Oh,
The
well,
provocation?
well, in the minds of some people who are
Right.
hurt,
But-
perhaps it justifies. But if you go and see as a liberal human being or as a thinking person, it only multiplies the extent of terrorism, and it could go anywhere.
The cycle of violence.
So I don't think it should be allowed, whether it is this side or that side. It just should not be allowed.
So, sir, how do you respond to what's happened lately? Your state's police caught these people. Some are still being tried, but some now NIA has said are innocent,
You
like
see,
Sadhvi Pragya Singh.
well, you know, in the beginning when it happened, there was a lot of pressure
Right.
of the police. Always happens from the government, from the people, that you have to catch these people. As it is something that we don't understand and frightens us. So if the police are always in a hurry and they catch first they caught the usual
suspects, yes.
and then after that, when Mr. Karkare happened to come
The
across
usual suspects for Muslims in this
Muslims,
case.
because they always feel that they are out to commit. You know, there is a intention of getting the people to fight
Right.
between communities.
Right.
So that was the first thought. Even I felt, oh yeah, they must have caught the
Must have
correct
done it,
people.
yes.
But then Mr. Karkare caught hold of certain intercepts and also CDs where voice recording was there. So I think he then came to know who are the real persons in this case, and then he went after them. He went after them. Now,
But he told you about it.
look, what happened was that Mr. Advani made some statement saying that the ATS in Maharashtra is been very unfair in catching Pragya. I think
Pragya Thakur Singh,
they were more interested in her. So then he came to see me.
I see.
He came to see me incidentally on the 25th of November.
Oh, day before he got killed.
Just a day before. And he sat with me for nearly half an hour. He would have sat longer if I had looked into his papers, but I don't have that much patience. So I didn't look into the papers. I said, I believe what you say. And he said that, look, I don't do wrong thing. This is the evidence I have. And there's no doubt at all in my mind that these are the people who have done it. And I told him that, look, Mr. Advani is not a person who is going to be
Exaggerate things.
exaggerate things. I know him personally. I'll talk to him. You don't worry. You do your dharma. You are a good Hindu. You do your dharma. Because he was one of our most respected officers
Yes,
we had
yes.
in the
And
Maharashtra.
he was no lefty lunatic,
No, not at all.
left liberal lunatic,
Not at all. Not at all.
secular libtard. We say all kinds of things.
Not
now.
at all. I don't know about secular. Certainly, all policemen officers become secular when they don
Right,
uniform.
uniform, yes.
But
They should.
I think that basically I learned that even his wife's family, they were all pro BJP or they had that ideology, but it didn't affect him. He did his work.
He was being
as
a
he's
good
supposed
professional,
to do.
good
Yeah, he was a
professional.
very good professional. Yeah.
And to rubbish his work now is tragic.
That is something that I will not accept. And most people in the force do not like that part of it.
In Bombay Police.
They do not like that part of it because they think they know Mr. Karkare. They knew him as a man. They knew him. They were more, involved with him emotionally after he died. they were involved with all the officers and men who died.
Right.
And I think it's an insult to his memory. And since he is not there to defend himself, we are going to defend him.
And his wife is not there also tragically.
Unfortunately, within 3 or 4 years,
Right.
she too died.
Right.
And I'm almost sure that this whole thing
Grief got to her.
accelerated her death. Yeah.
So, so you object to this rubbishing of his investigation?
This is
and to say
something-
that he planted, or his ATS planted evidence.
Look, I personally feel that after Rohini Salian made her statement that she was approached by the NIA officers to weaken the case or to soften her stand against these people, which she was not going to do because she is also a very respected professional.
Right.
I knew that they are going to be let off. It was obvious to me. But I didn't know that they would do it in this manner by condemning a man who's held in such great high respect by the police officers and men as well as by the public. And you know, I suppose they had to do it in order to get to get Pragya out of the
Right.
and also to weaken the case against Colonel Purohit.
Rohit.